Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing RiMS Racing. We have a brand event, a sponsored race for our very first career mode video in RiMS Racing. So here we are in Circuit Zolder on board the BMW M1000RR, and that is a great start. So this is a damp track, it's drying somewhat, so I've decided to go for a wet front tyre and a dry, normal, standard tyre, which is already fitted to the back of this BMW. Now, of course, the AI is at set difficulty in the career mode, and I think it changes throughout the each mode and each progression. So for the time being, we're just going to go around the outside of a couple of riders and try and avoid the kamikaze AI, because of course the AI in this game are not the best, but the score still getting worked upon, and who knows what's going to happen in the near future. But of course, bear in mind we do have a rain tyre on the front and a standard tyre at the back, so we'll go hard on the brakes now for the chicane on the left hand side. Goodness me, Abigail Suarez almost taking off my shoe there as we go into the chicane. A little bit too hot, we are getting investigated, but no penalty was given to the man on your screen right now as we go on the left hand side now, going around the outside and to the left hand side of a couple of riders there. As this has been very interesting, the sense of the AI right now, because they seem to dive into the corners but then go super slow mid-corner or coming out of the corner, which is rather annoying. But we have worked our way up into the podium position, so we're now up into second place. So I do believe this will be a case of getting past them all and just start chucking in the fastest lap times of the race. But of course, the Circuit Zolder, I'm a big fan of this track actually, and I was never familiar with this track until RiMS Racing came out, so I'm quite pleased for this edition of this Belgium circuit because it's pretty nice. It's got a wonderful variation of different styles of corners, from hairpins to chicanes to long right-handers to long left-handers, hard braking zones. It's got pretty much everything you would want in a track, and especially like going into turn 1, because it feels like you can carry so much speed in there, but when you realise you're in that corner, it's probably already too late to start braking. So I do like that one very much. And of course, Circuit Zolder was the very first track I used within RiMS Racing. The second I was given the early access code, I jumped into this circuit to see how things were, and I was really surprised. And it took me a while to get used to this track, but I will definitely be returning back to this track and potentially be doing some time trials on here very soon. But we have passed all the AI riders, so I think now it's the time to just chuck in those fast lap times and just sort of disappear into the distance, be a little bit of a blip on the distance in the horizon for the rest of the riders behind. Nice stuff so far, up by 2 seconds to Jordan Redman. And of course guys, if you haven't quite seen my review yet, don't forget to check out that review. That came out yesterday, so I would highly recommend you jump on board and check out that review if you're thinking about purchasing this game. That'll give you the full details and cover everything in depth more or less, to give you the good indication of whether RiMS Racing is worth it or if it isn't. So as far as the career mode goes, I actually had to restart my career because since playing the early access build and then going on to the full version, my save data got corrupted. So I've started again, but now with the BMW M1000, and this is pretty much a stock BMW. The only thing I have changed is I've added the addition of a rear thumb brake, and of course I've also added a brand new Arrow exhaust. I think you could see me do that within the review video as well. But starting in lap 3, we're up by 4.5 seconds. I think pretty much this one's in the bag, but it's now all about tyre degradation. This track looks like it's going to be drying quite soon, so will the front tyre last? Will the rear tyre be the proper choice to make? Because of course the guys behind us, they're on pretty much just normal standard tyres. Maybe that was the better decision, but for the time being, it looks like that rain tyre has certainly come to fruition. It's certainly coming into its own right now, as we are up by way over a couple of seconds now. Definitely got this one in the bag, so to speak, and I think it's going to be pretty much smooth sailing from here. Of course, not many laps here in the Circuit Zolder, 7 laps in total. It's not going to be an absolute slog, but it's also going to be a little bit of a sprint race, and this is what you've got to do when involved in a sprint race. You see this in Moto E all the time. Riders just desperate to get to the front, disappear into the distance, bring on some fast lap times, and there you go, you've guaranteed yourself the victory already. But you can see visually, this track is beginning to dry, and we very may well see a little bit of an indication on the bottom right corner of your screen there about maybe a yellow or red tyre coming up very soon. We're going to have to be quite careful. It still feels very grippy on the track. It feels like we've still got plenty of grip, still got plenty of life left in these tyres, but still we will have to pay attention to that. And of course we can always consult the MSC, the motorbike status check if we need to have a look and see how our bike parts are working right now. Of course, guys, if you are looking forward to more RiMS racing content in my career mode in RiMS racing, be sure to hit that subscribe button, as it'll help the channel out quite a lot, and of course it'll give you an indication of every single time I upload videos, and I upload videos every single day, so get subscribed and you can be watching a lot more DrAce content. But for the time being, on lap 4 of 7, the track is beginning to dry, but I still feel 120% confident we have this one in the bag, so we're just going to be giving it everything we've got now. Bring on the power, and I want to start chucking in some fastest lap times. Already up by 7/10 of a second in the first sector, but there it is in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. I made mention to this just a moment ago. Our front tyre is looking a little bit warm. We may have to just be a little bit careful from now on. Going on to the left hand side, up by 52,000th of a second into the second split as we go hard on the brakes for the chicane, as we chuck it to the right, chuck it to the left, and then to the right once more, as we now hold the line careful on the acceleration. A bit of a slide there, but nothing too much, as we'll get onto the right hand side. I do love this sector of track. As you bring on the power, the bike sometimes wants to wheelie going into that corner and then down the hill, but hard on the brakes with the right hander, nice and tight, but a little bit wider compared to the previous times that we've exited that corner before. Now going underneath the champion bridge, and we'll bring on the hard brakes for the final corner. Yet again, another chicane, a wonderful chicane as we go to the left, to the right. Beautifully done. Then bring on the power. I must say, I love the way in RiMS racing the bike just sits itself up and just positions itself nicely coming out of corners. But that is our fastest lap of the race, as we get a little bit squirmish on the brakes there, a little bit out of shape, going wide into the first corner. I mentioned this earlier that it's difficult to get that one right if you feel like you're going in there too late. Once you feel like it's too late, you better believe it is too late. Completely scuppered this lap already. There will be no improvements on the sense of a timing increase, but still happy with the result so far of that previous lap. That was a good job. A whole second and a bit quicker than that other lap. But we now go on the right hand side for the Lucien Bianchilabot. I tried to pronounce that, and it sounded awful, but we did lose 3 seconds to Jordan Redman there, who's in second place with 16 seconds behind. As we go on the left hand side for the chicane to the right, beautiful entry and exit of that chicane. So we'll go on the left hand side, keep it in nice and tight if you can, and then bring on the brakes just after that white part of the rumble strip has concluded. Now to the right, to the left, beautifully done, using a little bit of rear brake and front brake just to slow myself down. I did find that using the rear brake in this one helped out quite a lot. I think I ended up using it pretty much in every sort of hard braking zone. And here we go as a demonstration, a bit of hard brakes on the front and the rear, and going into the right hander. We've just dropped the front. We've just dropped the front. Now we can't be pushing as much as I think we could, because look at the track right now. There's only a few damp spots on the track, and we have to keep the front tyre cool. So going into the braking zone, we might have to brake a little bit early and a bit more gentle, just to make sure that we don't make the mistake. And we've gone a little bit wide into the chicane, and we've dropped the front again. That front tyre is punishing us now. As the track has dried, this track is making things extremely difficult for the man on board the BMW right now. But of course we are starting the penultimate lap, so we need to start braking a little bit earlier and a little bit more gentle. Maybe not chuck as much lean angle in, maybe just be a little bit more calmer now and a little bit more careful. We have plenty of time left in this race for Jordan Redman to chase us down, so we have to be very, very careful from this point on. Now into the right-hander, we'll be doing the same thing again on the brakes. Nice and gentle, a bit of rear brake, just bringing it in nice and tight to the apex. You can see the bike just wanting to drop all the time, slipping and sliding away in some of the corners, but we'll go hard on the brakes, using that bit of Armco barrier on the left-hand side to help us in as we go into the chicane pretty nicely. That's another corner and another sector conquered as we go into the left-hander. Keep it in nice and tight for boot as we go hard on the brakes for the right-hander for the chicane. Very, very good. Just managing to keep that motorcycle up, but I tell you what, the feeling and the sensation now of this bike is completely different to what it was at the beginning of this race. What a great way to sort of replicate the feeling of, oh my goodness, my tyres are on the ragged edge right now as we go hard on the brakes for the right-hander. We've gone completely wide. I'm not even going to try and bring that in as we lose it on the grass anyway. Goodness gracious me. Well, they are investigating as well, I just noticed that then. Well, we didn't get given a penalty because, of course, that wouldn't be very fair, would it? We just crashed. But what an awful performance so far coming in from the way of me right now. And I can't even turn this bike in anymore. This is getting very difficult. what a mistake this might have been. Let's have a look at the MSC to see where we are. And I tell you what, 46% on that rain tyre says everything, doesn't it? It is certainly looking like it's less than 50% right now, but we only have one more lap left. If we can just hold on with this 16.8 seconds lead, then we should be absolutely fine. But look at the state of the braking going into the first corner. The tyres are now red. This is going to be a bit scary now, this last lap. I've definitely made the wrong choice here. I've definitely made a minor faux pas. Not choosing just normal standard tyres is the downfall in today's video, definitely. But I'm learning all the time. I thought it'd be alright in the sense of just surviving till the end, and a bit of a mixture would help us out. But I tell you what, it's kind of backfired now. But I don't think so, because even though we've crashed 3 times, we're still up by 13.8 seconds. So we pretty much have this one in the bag, so to speak. So I don't think we need to panic too much. I think we still have this one signed, sealed and delivered, but it's just coming up to these next couple of corners now is where we're going to have to be very, very precise and very careful. Approximately 4 corners to navigate now. I'm pretty certain we've got this one, but of course anything could happen in motorcycle racing. And looking at the state of that front tyre, that one's going straight into the recycle bin and being broken down for parts, because there's no chance of me ever using that tyre again. Hard on the brakes. Look how slow and gentle we are going into the final couple of corners. Nice and tight to the apex. We still manage it, and we're going to be going into the final chicane any moment now as a victor in RiMS racing for the first time in career mode. Nice and gentle on the brakes, and we still managed to lose the front. Thank goodness we have plenty of time available to get into the bike and bring on the power for a victory for the first time in RiMS racing career mode. Let's have a bit of a celebratory wheelie. Wonderfully wheeling. Oh my goodness, the bike just completely glitched out on me there. It was meant to be going up alright, but unfortunately it didn't. But guys, I guess that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment and subscribe if you did. And hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next episode. Ciao for now.
Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.